Friday, July 21st. Almost back on track. It's been 6 weeks. Been 12 weeks since I sort of disappeared from the scene. And I got to tell you, personally, things are going great. And I'm really excited now about finally getting back to work. I know I've been promising I would get to this, but it's just life has... this rehab thing is killing me. But I can walk. Everything feels great. So, been playing the guitar finally a little bit too. It's just been sort of uninspiring, but a lot of cool things going on around here. Today I want to talk about a few things that showed up on the forum. We might talk about These Days a little bit. Definitely going to talk about Pentatonic Patterns. And want to talk a little bit of IGC news. First I want to go through some of the songs, some of the new things that we've had. Vanessa did it again, brought up an artist I was not familiar with, Kim Wilde and Kids in America. Very cool tune. And then Max got a lesson together on something that's been on my list of things to do for a long time. I'm really glad he did it. I hope people are enjoying his version. It's not his version. He pretty much showed you how the Foo Fighters played Everlong. So that's a pretty cool one too, the drop D and all those simple power chords. Once you're in drop D tuning, power chords are, well, a breeze, so to speak. And one of our IGC members, Kurt, was here a few months ago. That was actually the beginning of June. And we worked on a couple of different things. There's a little bit more to that lesson that we went off in a different subject. I think right at the end we mentioned it. But anyway, he was talking about pentatonic patterns. And of course, we've had other questions on the forum recently about it. So I'm going to get to that. What do I want to start with? IGC news, we are pretty much wrapped up. If anybody else is thinking about joining us, you got to get in there really soon because they're looking for final head counts at Asilomar and things like that. Wiley, I appreciate getting the little group discount for Totally Guitars members over at, what's it called? The Bristol Hotel around here. So we are exactly 1 month away. A month is not an exact thing, of course. But today's the 21st. We start on the 21st, which is also Eclipse Day here in America. So we won't be able to see. It'll be a little. We'll see a little of it here on that Monday morning. Camp starts that afternoon, but that Monday morning we'll see a bit of the eclipse. No, we won't be looking at the eclipse unless you're further north and you've got the whole blockage. But anyway, so. That's it. IGC news for now. Let's talk about These Days first, because that was a lesson when I first threw it together. It was just done very folky. His original version, or his first recorded version from For Every Man, very simple, and then other things come in. David Lindley with some nice slide guitar work. Then the piano kind of takes over. So I really never thought of it as a specifically guitar-oriented song. But it is the way he did it on the later album, Solo Acoustic. And I believe it's probably capable at the second fret. I didn't check this carefully, but just the second or third would be where Jackson would have done this. It's in, of course, the key is C, and it's just regular finger picking. G with B in the bass, A minor 7, G in the bass, F major 7. A lot of times on the Fs, hammering on the G, or leaving the G string open, playing the F major 7 with the thumb wrap, because we're hearing F in the bass and an open E up on the top. And the progression is basically very simple at that point. C, I just ran through that part, right? Finally, after a couple sets of that, it goes to a C for a while. G, long F. And he didn't have that big diminished thing. On this layer, he just went to an F chord. How do we do it? That would be it. Doesn't lend itself very well to it. Well, it would. I just have to work that out a little bit. But anyway, I may elaborate on that maybe next week and put out some tab for it. I'm sure there's a lot of it out there, but I always find mistakes and things like that. Pentatonic scales. Let's get on to this, because this is... Dermot had a great question about, do you really need to use all 5 patterns? No. I would say 2 are the most important, depending on what key you're in. Well, and they're the 2 that I would say, first of all, I hope everybody understands my numbering system for them. It's not mine, but a lot of people, there are 5 patterns. We number them 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 because of what note of the major scale they start on. We would reserve pattern 4 to be something we'd use with the whole major scales and modes and things, and the same thing with pattern 7. So, anyway, enough of that for now. I usually think, or one of the ways you can do this is think about a minor scale, an A minor scale, turned into a pentatonic, which is pentatonic pattern 3. A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G. Well, if we move that up someplace, like to the 3rd fret, this would be what I would call pattern 3. I'd go from the 3rd fret, now I'd be thinking in C minor. And I'd be thinking 3rd to the 6th, 3rd to the 5th, 3rd to the 5th, 4th to the 6th, and 3rd to the 6th again. Now, I only played 5 strings of this. There would be notes on the 6th string as well, but I tend to relate pattern 3 to the A minor, the A family of chords, particularly the minor one. So if I'm going to play a lead in D minor, I messed around earlier with some stuff in D minor, and in the lesson of Kurt's, we talked about Southern Man, D minor, D flat, G minor 7. Well, if you take pattern 3 has the tonic of the relative minor key on the 5th string. Pattern 6 has the tonic of the minor key on the 6th string. So, to think in the key of D minor, I think on the 5th string, D is at the 5th fret. That's where pattern 3 is going to go. I didn't even get to the 6th string. Don't need the 6th string on this pattern, but it would be the 5th and 8th frets in this particular case. But that's how I think of pattern 3. I tie it to the minor chord, the minor shape of the A family, and if the song's in D minor, that's where it goes. If it's in C minor, it goes at the 3rd. If it's in A minor, it goes open. Or 12. Pattern 6 follows the 6th string in the minor family. So, for D minor, I'd put it at the 10th fret. And of course, pattern 6, in this case, would be 10 to 13, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 13, and 10 to 13. Now, the kind of cool thing about, one of the cool things about these 2 patterns is they actually fit next to each other without an overlap. Wherever pattern 3 goes, you have 2 notes on each string. Well, pattern 6 will be the next note up on each of those, and pattern 6 starts with all 6 strings at the same fret. So, if I'm thinking of pattern 3 at the 5th fret, I could go from the 5th to the 8th, but I could move right to the 10th and be now thinking in pattern 6. So, a couple of cool songs that happened in Kurt's lesson. We talked about Southern Man in D minor. The leads in that should either be done with around pattern 3 at the 5th fret or pattern 10, pattern 6 at the 10th fret. We talked about Loan Me a Dime, and I appreciate that video getting popped into that thread, but I will talk about the chord progression for that because I'm not sure if in the lesson I went through it very, very elaborately. Key of A minor. So now my lead is going to be based at the 5th fret. So if you want to play along, I'll run through the whole progression right now. A minor, D minor, A minor, descending bass, G sharp in the bass, G in the bass, F sharp in the bass. To chord 4, D minor, for 2 full measures, 3, 4. Back to chord 1 with the same descent. And the third line, F, instead of chord 5. To chord 4, D minor. Then the turnaround, A minor, chord 4, D minor, back to A minor, and finally the dominant chord, some kind of E. E7, played as a C7 shape up at the 5th. Major 7, D minor, and the turnaround, A minor, D minor, A minor, and E7, or maybe an E7 with a flatted ninth, or a raised ninth. All of a sudden it sounds like Shine On You Crazy Diamond, wrong key though. Okay, sorry, I shouldn't get so carried away in cool progressions, but I hope in the lesson with Kurt I mentioned a lot of songs, or a few songs, that are really fun to just practice playing leads along with. And of course some of them are Neil Young favorites. Southern Man, Cowgirl in the Sand, Down by the River, My Hey Hey. Although that one, if you play along with the acoustic one, it's in the key of G minor, Like a Hurricane, another great one. Layla, D minor, Sultans of Swing. And then Loan Me a Dime, back in A minor. Cool tune. Okay, that is it. I do have a couple things on the horizon. Maybe. We'll see what happens next week.